Hi, my name is Deanne Lautenbach, and I'm a specialist in deafblind services here at the center. I've worked here for more than 14 years, or just 14 years. I started my journey as an ASL, American Sign Language interpreter, and I graduated from UW-Milwaukee with a bachelor's degree in exceptional education interpreting. I worked as a freelance and educational interpreter for more than 15 years and enjoyed doing that, loved communicating with my hands. However, during that time, I decided I needed a career change. I wanted to explore a little bit more. So I went and enrolled in a teaching program at Cardinal Stritch. I finished that and got my post-baccalaureate degree in teaching from Cardinal Stritch many years ago. And I decided to go on and to teach in the community. So I did get a couple of different public school teaching jobs. I worked in both West Allis and in New Berlin, Wisconsin. I worked as a math teacher, middle school, and computer applications. Very different than sign language, but I enjoyed doing that. However, there was still something missing in my day-to-day work life, and that was being able to communicate with my hands and to be able to use American Sign Language as I enjoyed it. So I went on a search to find a job that would use both my teaching skills and my sign language skills. I found this job, very luckily. Actually, it was my husband who found this job and showed me that the center was hiring. And one thing that I didn't mention, back when I was in the interpreter training program, I actually had volunteered to go to an AADB, American Association of Deafblind convention, as a student interpreter. It was required for our last summer. So I did get to meet some of my current clients. At any rate, I come forward to here. I got the job at the center. And like I said, I've been here 14 years. My 14 years has given me a plethora of experiences, and I'm very fortunate. I work mainly as a teacher here at the center on a daily basis when we have consumers at the center. I teach a variety of independent living skills classes as well as leisure communication, all of those things that are necessary for everyday life. I also go out into the community as a support service provider, or SSP, as I'm sure you will hear often. And I work with clients individually, and I really like that experience. I get to do a lot of different things, and I meet some very wonderful people. And I think that's why this job for me is very special. One thing that I didn't say earlier is when I first came to this job, I thought I was good. I thought I knew at least half of what I should have known because I knew sign language. And I was only going to have to learn about blindness. Whoa, wrong. I had to learn a lot, and I'm still learning. And I think all of us here are. There is never a, I've learned it all, I've figured it all out. And through the years, beside doing the teaching and the SSP work, I've worked as a job coach. I've worked as an employment specialist. I've even had the opportunity on occasion to work with ICANN Connect as an assessor and a trainer. So like I said, my job has a variety of different requirements, shall we say. But like I said before, training is so important. And through the years, I've been very fortunate to be able to go to Helen Keller National Center to take training in adaptive technology. I've taken Braille training and gotten my teaching certification through Hadley in Illinois. And currently I'm working with the Deafblind Interpreting Institute out of Seattle, Washington, to finish a program there for protactile interpreting. So I think training is important, and I think I've been very fortunate because so many people I know don't understand the deafblind community, and I think I'm lucky that I do. I think I'm lucky because I have met some very wonderful people, and I've had the opportunity to watch many of my clients become independent and to find their independence. And I think that's an awesome experience. That aside, I like doing this job, obviously, but just a little bit on my home front, on what I do when I'm not at the center, because yes, we all have lives outside of the center. On my own, I tend to like to spend a lot of time with my family. I like to work on my house, making sure I keep that up, and my yard, the typical things many of us do. I'm an avid reader. I read a lot. I love to crochet, and most important for me is beekeeping. I love being a beekeeper. There's nothing more calming than being in a hive with 10,000 bees buzzing around you. So thank you very much, and I hope that you take the opportunity to check out the center.